Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. We are finally back with Never Surrender Ship Evolution, so let's get started. Alright, so it's been quite some time since I played Ship Evolution Never Surrender scenario, and honestly I don't even know where I left off with, except the exterior battle ready shell, and assumingly supposed to be waiting for a whole bunch of ores and everything like that to be refined for steel plates, metal grids, and things like that. It looks like we were waiting for a lot of resources, and I don't think we were able to gather enough, which technically we have a decent amount, but we needed to weld up the entire ship here. So I don't think I have enough for everything. I did say I was gonna sit and load the game, wait for everything to produce, which it kind of did, but I still don't believe there's enough materials for every little thing, to be honest. So, I mean, we could see what happens and how much we can weld up. I kind of not too happy with exterior battle ready part of it, the exoskeleton. I mean, it looks okay, but I think once we weld it up, it's gonna look a little better. But the thing is very heavy because it's all heavy armor for it to be battle ready in that case. So let's just see if we can load up our cargo with as much as we can. Okay, so I think we're out of iron for the most part, it looks like. We do have a bunch of metal grids and cobalt, although I think the setup we have now is a little bit poor in the sense that we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 refineries. We have 3 survival kits for whatever reason. And I think we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 refineries, which is decent, but probably is not as much as I need to quickly do everything. But I think we have enough. Actually, let's see. A metal grid. There's 50 metal grids per plate here, so we definitely need to speed up production in that case. So it looks like we welded up most of this side here, and we can weld up on the other side similarly rather soon. But let's just see how far we kind of get here. Where is the cockpit here? Right there. All right, so let's unlock here and get our welders ready. So we now only have, well, we have a ton of, but we only have 5,000 metal grids. That's not enough for the whole entire thing, obviously. So that's the biggest problem we have here, and that's why I kind of didn't come back to the series for quite some time. Well, many reasons why we didn't come back to this series, and one of them was because I was a little stumped on what I wanted to do with this ship, especially the exoskeleton not looking exactly how I kind of want it to be. So I just want to take a break from it and started doing some time-lapse series, such as building a mountain base and also the space elevator. So the space elevator, that technically is still going. I'm trying to finish it off, but problem with that is it's not working out too well. I'm gonna take a little bit break from that and get back to some series and survivals, and having a few new ideas too, which I'm gonna do in the future in terms of a series, a new survival series and everything like that, and continue to do some time lapses, of course, but not as much as we have currently running. Another reason why we were doing a lot of time lapses is because I had to change in the office space, and that took me quite some time to really get everything moved into a new space where I can actually do some voice recording with some peace and quiet and everything like that. So that's what took some time as well. Another reason why it's taking so long is because, I don't know if you hear it, but the echoing of the mic is not as great because the new space that I'm in is fairly cramped and it's echoing on the walls. So I'm getting some foam put up and trying to experiment with what the best placements are, so we do not hear too much of this echoey microphone pickup. It probably don't hear too much of it, but hoping for a lot better sound in the future. All right, so let's get back to this. We are welding pretty well. I mean, we're gonna run out of metal grids fairly soon, it looks like. And I have a plan. So instead of me sitting around waiting for things to refine, waiting things to be produced, we're gonna create some kind of station or maybe a ship that has a whole bunch of refineries, assemblers, and everything like that to carry itself, so then we can get this thing done as quickly as possible instead of really waiting for it. Yes, we're gonna waste more materials doing that, but I think it's worth it. So it looks like we did add some weapons previously, so that's great. We have a bunch of other little minor things here, like these slope blocks here to be done. I don't think I can get to every crevice with this specific welding ship, so we're gonna have to find a way to kind of weld it all up by hand, which is gonna be really hard because we don't have a lot of inventory from what I can remember. But we're gonna continue to weld up as much as we can, kill out as much materials as we could, and will do, and move on from there. I think we don't have enough platinum for the ion thrusters, but I think that's all kind of worked out. So yeah, I think we should make a separate ship, or maybe an asteroid base. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about it, and I'm thinking more of a ship, since we've been building all these different types of ships to help us out with making this whole entire big ship here. So I might have to continue to do that. I think I am going to continue to do that, but it's going to be a heavy ship. So I don't know if I'm going to keep it in terms of what kind of thrusters. We probably won't do ion thrusting. Maybe, since it's so heavy and it's going to cost us too much materials, there's a chance I might think about just going with some hydrogen. So with hydrogen, we can use ice to power it up, obviously. Some hydrogen thrusting, it carries a little bit better in space, but it is going to be not a reusable resource, but it runs out eventually. So that's what it's gonna be a little crappy. But I think if we build the ship, we should build a lot of hydrogen tanks to carry itself and be able to power it up with some hydrogen engines as well. So that might be the idea. And of course, if I use all the metal grids, that's going to cause a problem because we do need metal grids to make tanks. So maybe I hold off on completely welding this thing off for now. I think I should stop welding it, but we got some progress here. We just got killed maybe 10k and 3k of metal grids, so that's not too bad. Let me continue to finish off just this piece here on the wing side, and then we can continue to make, or not continue, but go ahead and make this refinery ship or so. And we probably want to add speed mods to it, which might be better than getting the production mod instead. Alright, so I think I'm done welding for now. And I thought at one point, I might not have, put in just the steel plates. Yes, I did. I just put in the steel plates, but not the metal grids. But I do have cobalt refining, so it is doing something. So, do we still have a lot of it? We have not a decent amount at all. It's not too bad. We still have the ores, and 11k right here. So we're still producing, but we're missing iron. Okay, so that's our problem. We're out of iron, so we can't make anything. So that's the biggest problem there. So let's make a new ship. I think that's what we should do. And we have, what is this? This should be nickel. Where's my drill? I must put it away, hopefully. Yes, I did put it away. This is nickel, I think, right? Yep, that's nickel. I think this is a nickel iron asteroid or meteor. Asteroid. Yeah, nickel iron asteroid, so that's fine. Okay, so we're okay. So let's make this new ship. If we make a new ship, is there any way we can attach it to our mothership here? Because everything I made so far has some kind of connection point, whether it's a connector or maybe even a merge block, but it's all connected in some ways in form and fashion so we can transport everything. Okay, so we're gonna park this guy here. It's a little bit on the heavy side. And we're good. Okay, so I'm gonna park this guy here. So like I said before, everything's connected. So this thing is back here in a decent spot. Yeah, decent spot there. And our front piece here, of course, comes off, and that was mainly for a drill system. So I might take that off because we're gonna create this new ship that's gonna refine and possibly drill at the same time. So let's just take care of that. But I do believe I can set it aside and put it down here on the bottom somehow, or somewhere else. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out soon enough. But yeah, I think we're just gonna have to create a whole new system so we can do some refining, digging, and everything like that as well. An all-in-one mining ship is what we really need. And of course, in terms of an assembler, we probably could get away with creating more assemblers inside. I forget exactly what the inside looks like, but I think we could add a ton more assemblers around here somehow. There's got to be some room, if I can recall. Like right here, we could add one, maybe, or two. So we definitely add more assemblers in here, but the refining is the slow part right now. And I think my refineries have mods as well. I believe. Maybe not. Yeah, yield mods is what... we have a decent amount of yield mods, so that nets us more, but it's just a slow refining. Yeah, of it. So maybe not the best thing to do. Maybe I should just continue playing with speed mods, because it's just gonna be faster, faster, faster. It's a little too slow from my liking right now. The pace of it is not that great. Let's start with building this specific ship. How we're gonna do that? I might need to move this guy off of here, actually, so I can build it off of the ship here, using that connector point right there. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Okay, so we definitely need to put in a connector here if we can. That's not the way to do it. We have to do it this way and this way right here. Let's get this thing going and connect it basically. So we need to find an access point for materials, which is right there. Okay, this is gonna take a bit of time to really build out, unfortunately. So let's lock this guy in, then we'll get rid of this. And from here is where we're gonna build out what we need. So I'm not sure we want to keep the connector here. We might put the connector elsewhere in terms of the ship itself. Not exactly sure where I'm gonna do that. For now, let's just build what we need to build and then disconnect off of it. But this way, at least we can get power recharging from the ship itself. I think it'll be a better idea to put conveyor junctions instead. And I had in mind a simple ship in some ways, but we're gonna do hydrogen in the inside. So we're gonna probably do 2 hydrogen, maybe 3. Should we go with 3? 3 might be too much. Let's go with 2. Yeah, 2 for now. And we're gonna build refineries. So the refineries, what I wanted to do is make it kind of interesting. So to make it kind of interesting, I was thinking of kind of playing around with either a rotor or a hinge on the side here. So then we can angle out our refineries a little bit just to make it look decent. Is it something I should do? I don't know. It sounds like a fun plan, but I don't know how well it's gonna turn out. Because if it does bounce a little bit, it's gonna cause issues. So maybe I don't do that. I don't know yet, at least. We can put some conveyor junctions. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put some conveyor junctions here, here, and here. just to extend it out a little bit. And refineries, I don't know where our refinery is. We're gonna have to use the old school refinery. So it's gonna be this one here. And we'll place it kind of like this. Like that, I think. So the conveyor, hoe, or port is right there. So we can just do that. And we can do the same thing on this side. Right there. On top here, might be a little bit different. We might have to think about doing it this way, which will have the conveyor port there, and we gotta move the ship. Okay, ship moved, and we're just gonna throw another refineries down here. Yeah, I think I wanted to curve it a little bit, but that would have been a bad idea. So I think this is gonna be decent. Here's the makeup of the ship. 4 refineries, which isn't a lot, but it'll do. We're gonna put the mods on the side here, so it equals out the 3 square blocks here. And same with these sides here. I know this one's a little lower than the other ones, but it should be fine, I think, right? Let's see. If I did the refinery... I had the refinery this way. Now I could do the refinery like this to be on top of it. I think let's just do that. Let's make it a little more symmetrical, actually. So our refinery, I'm gonna plop it on top with the connector or port right there, and same thing down here. So we can use the same exact side, or we can just play around with it and flip it around and make it not too symmetrical in some ways. And there we go. So that's what I kind of wanted. And here we can put a hydrogen thruster. I'm gonna go with the original hydrogen thruster because I like that a little bit better in terms of the way it looks. So we could probably get away with one big one. So let's just leave that with one. And we could throw a whole bunch on the sides and everything like that. So now the other part is cargo. I think we just need one large cargo container, and that should do it. So where do we put that? Probably up front, I think. It doesn't really match up really well with what we got going on with the hydrogen thrusters, I think. But if we did, let's just say like that. It might work. That might work. This is becoming a really rather big ship. But at least we could store what we gather and refine what we need to refine. So that's a plus. And I think that's the size, the biggest of it I want it to be. Maybe I add this towards the back. I think I should have done that actually. Maybe. But then maybe I'll surround the whole entire ship anyway, so you can't really see too much. So if I got rid of this and put in the cargo container back here, I guess that looks okay. I think I prefer it to kind of have the refinery sticking out more towards the back. But this is looking decent. It's not too bad. We could stick with this. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think we could do that. We can stick with this. And then we just gotta build out the front of cockpit and everything like that, which is... that's where it gets kind of tricky because I'm not sure exactly what style I want to go with when it comes to the cockpit. Well, at the moment, I don't even know what style I want to do in terms of keeping everything... because we need more stuff. So we gotta keep we gotta upkeep with ice. We need hydrogen, O2H2s, engines and things like that. So we gotta, this is the base of it, I guess. And we'll just plop on the rest from there, I believe. And yeah, I think that'll work okay. So things like thrusters, we could work around with. So we don't necessarily need large thrusters for everything. So we could do like small thruster here, small thruster here as well, down here. So I like doing this with the large thrusters, right? So just adding these upwards, downwards, left and right thrusting right on the thruster itself. But of course we could add a ton more if we need to. Of course we need more stopping power and everything like that, because this thing is going to be heavy, but maybe not too heavy. So we'll kind of see how it goes. But for refineries with speed mods, I think that should be alright. Maybe. Let's see. We can put some batteries here. So we're probably going to need a lot of batteries. So maybe we can live with 4 batteries here. I'm going to just do this to make a decent coverage. 4 batteries here. And are we going to leave some of these exposed? Probably not. But a good portion of it will be exposed, so you don't see too much of it. But I still got to figure out the cockpit situation, which either we put in a stock cockpit, like so, or we surround it with a helm or something like that in the front. That's where my life gets a little tricky here. So I feel like we should kind of create a helm-like situation in the front, but how should it look like? I don't know. I'm thinking something like this in some cases, maybe. Just to have a decent look out here. I don't know. That looks a little odd to me, but I mean, it's not too bad, right? So if we did the same thing up here, like so. Not a lot of room up front, but it's okay. That just looks like a little bit of a beak now. I think we can kind of get away with that, but I feel like we need a bigger cockpit situation here. But who knows? So we're just gonna have to fly into it. So we do need air vent back here as well. So that's something we definitely do need. So that way we get some oxygen as we're flying this thing. So we can add one here. So the cockpit situation or bridge situation, we probably want to make it a little bigger than we're thinking. So let's add conveyor junctions along the sides here a little bit. So we can add room for thrusting if we need to. Right there. And, well, maybe we break out the cockpit here instead. I mean, that's also an idea. So I'm not even sure if this has a port. If there has a port here, that'll be perfect. So then that way I can throw the air vent there and then build a bridge going downward. So that might be the best way to go. And it looks like we're gonna have to get the assistance of this welder here for the steel plates. And I wish I had another port or connector so I can actually get some more materials. Okay, so that should weld up the steel plate that I need, I believe. And we're missing motors and computers and large steel tube. Okay, so the port is up there. Not exactly where I want it to be, but it should be okay. There we go. So we got our refinery here, and if we put out air, it's gonna be up there. So that's not kind of where I want it to be. So maybe we don't put it there. Maybe we make our bridge system. I don't know how I want to make it, to be honest. What if we did, once again, going back to it, we're just gonna do more of something like that, and maybe should we just do it this way? If we did it this way, it looks decent. So then if we, let's just say, add the sidewalls here, it's gonna look like that as well, and it's gonna keep its kind of shape here. It's gonna kind of look like the fighter cockpit a little bit. Yeah, that might be it, but not a lot of space to get in and out of. So that's the biggest problem that I'm gonna have. Well, actually, we can come in here to get to that point, but we're not gonna have oxygen or anything like that. So it looks good, but not the best thing to do. So here we can put the helm here. Alright, so we got the helm there up front. And honestly, if we did it this way, I think we could get away with putting up a decent window system here. So we just get the slanty version of it, which is going to be this. We should have a decent viewpoint throughout the front, which is great. So now there's one thing I'm forgetting, and that's a drill system. Because we are going to have to drill as well. Well, we can put it down here. Not the greatest looking thing. I have some ideas. We can play around with a pistons drilling system instead, maybe. Not the most ideal thing to do, but that can make it easier to dig up. So let's just continue to build around it a little bit to kind of see how we want to do this. So if we put a window here, window there, let's get rid of this 2 blocks here. Get our window right there. We have a good viewpoint left to right when we're sitting in the cockpit. So here's, well, we're sitting up very up close already, so not any big difference. Alright, we should be okay. I think we'll put the air over there inside, which is I guess it's gonna be against this block here, which doesn't give us a lot of room. Okay, so that's not where I want it, so let's do, okay, so if I think at the moment, if I removed anything, especially this block, the middle block, it's gonna fall apart. So let's secure it a little bit. So we get rid of this one. This conveyor junction, right? That's fine. We'll put our air here, right there, and we just fix this up, I guess. We need a door, which becomes a little bit of an issue here. There's no such thing as a slope door, and a door system right here is going to be a little bit rough because we have the air here now. But oh well, so we just make everything super cramped for no reason. So kind of my style for whatever reasons. I always tend to do it that way. But let's see if we can kind of build something out to prevent that. So here we can do the door on top, and we should be able to just jump right in. Well, okay, so not the easiest thing to jump into, so that's not fun. Putting air like that's just not best thing in the world, I guess, right? So how else can we do this? Just to get some air in here. So we probably, okay, that I think I know. Let's just get rid of these things here. What we're gonna do is extend the block by 1. So we have a better way of getting in. So we're gonna do that and that, right? So this is the door. And that should look okay. That shouldn't be too bad. So we can do the doors on the side if we want. Let's do it on the side. I think that's a little bit better looking, at least. If we did it on the side. So if we did a door here and a box door here, we should be good. And we have our air right in here, right? And now we can square it out, or not square it out, but make it pointy. So So we're gonna go with the windows. So we're gonna do window this way. We're gonna window it this way, and this way. Well, maybe don't do the window on the bottom because we need some kind of placement for the helm. So let's use a ramp. We haven't really used the ramp too much. Let's use the ramp, so we can put the ramp right over here. And let's put the helm slightly close, not too close to the front like we did before. So let's just do right there. I think that will be a decent placement. Nothing too crazy, but decent. But I think that should do. So now the front, unfortunately, we can't put a cone here, but but we can put something here and connect it for. I guess we could. No, well, it's no point in putting a conveyor junction here because then we can't see anything up front. Too bad we can't have a cone window. If we could get a coned window, that'd be cool too. But instead, let's just put a regular window here. Alright, so it's gonna be a little difficult based on what I've done to this whole thing, because I needed this connector for the welder. So do I create another connector somewhere, or just I think we're just gonna extend off it here. So let's just do that. It's gonna look a little odd, but it's gonna help. So again, I think we can work with a pipe system. So what I'm gonna do is just basically extend out a bit of a connector over here, and we're gonna do. I think we're good. Here, let's just do that, and just put it I think we're far away from everything. Yeah, we should be okay. Let's just put the connector here. Like I said, a little bit odd, but that's just temporary. Just need it just to put our welding ship here so we can actually weld stuff up. And honestly, if I can, and maybe I will, add more refineries towards the side. So we're gonna have to get rid of some of the thrusters here, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get rid of these thrusters. I do want to add more refineries. Because 4, decent amount, not enough. So let's extend it out a little bit more, so it goes past the big thruster here too. So let's just bring this guy out. Actually, we can park this guy now, and we could probably fly this thing a lot better too once we park this guy and offload a bunch of steel plates that we have here, because that's what's making it really, really heavy right now. So I think this thing will be happy that it's gonna lose some weight. So it's found its new home, a new connector, and I wish I had a camera down there so it'd be easier to see. And we are parked. Okay, so let's use that for now. And what I meant before is if I add more refineries, which I'm gonna do, it should look a little bit better. Plus I need more refineries, and we don't have a lot of space to do that with this current ship. And we're just gonna do it kind of like this. So I'm not sure how everything's gonna line up, and I hope it does line up with the portholes. It should, I think, right? So if we had it laid out this way, yeah, it should be fine. So we're just gonna lay it out like this. Everything's gonna have it's gonna be on the ports as well, so we should be okay. Here we go. I think that looks good. Yeah, that's gonna look good. So there's a total of 8 now, so the 8 refineries there. That's good. We do need to kind of square it off, or at least not square it off, but put some protection on it as well. So we probably put some things like this, or pillars, or columns, something like that. We'll work on that in a second. But we do need, well, hopefully we also have space for an O2. I think that's one we need. Yeah, O2 generators, O2H2 generators, and we have batteries. We need a gyroscope. It's another placement piece that we need to add somewhere around here. So lots to do, but at least we are connected with our welding ship here, so we can add in what we need to weld stuff up. Alright, so it looks like we definitely need to get more iron because we can't make steel tubes. I mean, we could disassemble more steel plates to get it and everything like that, but why do that when we can try to fly this thing once again, or relearn to fly this thing at least, and get some iron. So let's see, how do we do this? We unlock that, move the piston, and I think we just get rid of the merge block and we're good to go. Yeah, simple as that. Alright, so I know we have our piston, I think we have a piston, yeah, we have a piston drilling system up front. So let's fly around this. I know the iron's right here and right there. That looks good. I think that's a decent spot, but we are going to run into other things as well. So do we have enough space to get material? Kind of. Yeah, we should be okay. Okay, I think we're good. Let's check. Okay, our drills are taking up resources now. That means everything should be filled, so we're good here. Stop the drill, retract the drill, and hopefully we can still fly this thing. It's a little heavy, so let's see how it goes. I mean, we don't have a lot of thrusters on here as well, in terms of the ion thrusters at least. We can fly decently. It's not terrible. Is it gonna stop? I don't know. Okay, so no camera in the back, I think. I would assume. Nope, of course not. Why would I put cameras in the back? Okay, so I think the idea here is to line it up with the merge block. And, ooh, hope it sticks correctly. Yeah. A camera, sensor, those would be very, very helpful at this point. Okay, I need to turn on the merge blocks. Then back up into it. And uh-oh. I moved the ship a little bit. Boom. That did not sound great, and I don't know why I started to make monkey noises, but okay. Alright, so that's gonna refine. It's gonna take some time. Like, I gotta set up the refining priorities. Okay, so we gotta get it to... I mean, I prefer the yield mod more than the speed mod, but everything's taking it slow, so... Yeah... We could probably get away with just the speed mods, because we do have a decent amount of resources for iron. So, I don't know. Alright, so what are we missing? We are missing steel plates here. We are missing a large steel tubes initially, so that's the biggest portion of it. So if we weld up this guy here, we should be good with the light armor blocks. We have a bit of a connection here, but we're gonna ignore that for now. Yeah, large steel tubes are missing. We didn't get down there. But yeah, large steel tubes are missing. Everything looks good here. I do wish this thing was sticking out a little bit more than it is now. So there's a potential chance I can add another cargo container here. Do we need another cargo container? That's the biggest question. If we have another cargo container, we can add a lot more stuff. When I say stuff, I mean iron, ice, and things like that. But right here in the middle is where we can put O2H2 back here. So let's just do that, right? So the O2H2 back here. So that means we could do 1, 2. 2 is fine. We don't need 3. 3 would be decent amount. And of course we could put a gyroscope somewhere as well. We're gonna put it up here, maybe. I'll leave it there for now. We're gonna put a thruster back here. I think that's it. Yep, that's good. So then we're equipped with the gyroscope. We have the O2H2 generators. We should put an oxygen tank as well. So that way we can store oxygen and not have to worry about it like our original ship, which for whatever reasons we don't have an oxygen tank. So oxygen tank only has ports such as that. So I think the ideal thing to do is put the oxygen tank right over there. The gyroscope, it should be floating on its own, which is bad. So I don't know, can we put a gyroscope on top of the tank? Yes, we can. So that is perfect. And let's get back to welding. We should be able to weld everything on this side right here. Of course, there's going to be little bits of spots where it's going to be a little bit rough to weld because it's kind of hidden underneath. And I think it's not that it's not welding. It is because we're out of materials. So we ran out of steel plates. So 6,000 steel plates. No. How much we have? 9,000 steel plates, I think, right? When we started. On the welder. And we just used it all up. So that's a decent amount of steel plates here used on this kind of freighter-like ship. Am I still out of? Yeah. Alright, so this is not the way to go, and I think hopefully my production of power cells is good. Nope, we are not good. So let's get that started because we do need some batteries here. We need to get this connected as well. Let's just do this by hand really quick. Yeah, we could definitely make this look a little bit better with adding some more thrusters and everything like that, so it adds more look to it. But before we go, I think I just want to do and make sure to put the speed mods on. And yeah, it's unfortunate we use speed mods, we're going to lose out on the yield mods, but right now I need more of the speed than anything else. So I need to... Okay, so we have a problem here because I think there's a conveyor junction in here that's not complete. Here's the problem. Epic fail right there. So my idea of putting the air vent here was great, but completely forgot this is not connected. So that's not fun. So either way, we're gonna have to... That sucks. We gotta figure out something here. Okay, I'm gonna use this C tube here for this situation. Okay, now that's connected and everything should be able to refine when if it needs to refine, I think. Yeah, it's refining now. So that is all connected and everything was going through. The only thing is that now we don't have an air vent. But I guess we could put it here. I think. Let's see. Can we put it here? Likely, I feel like it's gonna be fine. We just put it up here and a bit of a gap there. That's not good. That gap is likely gonna prevent it from getting a nice seal. Okay. Let's see. Let's go inside. Close that. Close that. And surprisingly, as it is, it's sealed. Visibly, it's not. Okay. I guess we could take that. So yeah, that's a little bit odd, but it's okay. I mean, I'll take that for now. I mean, we could move it here. Yeah, I think we should do that. Let's just move it here. So we move it up here, it'll probably look a little bit better, but we gotta find a way to get the connection up there. So that's the other piece of the puzzle. But it should be okay. And maybe redesign the front a little bit more when we have to. But right now, at least we have a whole bunch of refineries connected. So at least we have things going that way. So we're about to burn out a lot of energy right now by adding a whole bunch of steel plates, a whole bunch of speed modules. So we're gonna do speed modules throughout the entire thing. Should I flip it around to make different designs like that, or who cares? At this point, I think okay, that's not ideal. At this point, I think who cares? Let's get rid of those. Where did I put the mods? Mod. I guess here is... Let's just do it this way. Make it parallel. This one's upside down. Alright, there we go. So, where's my welding ship? Let's get the speed mods done, and we'll call this completion of phase 1. And then phase 2 is where we're gonna design it a little bit better and walk you through the thought process of how I design ships, I guess, as we've been doing it. So a mini series of ship evolution in some ways. Okay, let's see. Yep, we are looking decent. We should have an airtight seal. We do, but again, I think I'm gonna redo this cockpit or bridge because this is looking terrible. I need something more hammerhead shark like, I think. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But right now everything looks decent, and we can always round things out with some slopes just to make it decent. Maybe we use some beams. I don't know, we'll definitely need different color. It's one thing, but adding difference, we definitely need a design over. We can't just leave it naked. We could leave it naked. It's not gonna look great though, but we're gonna have to incorporate a lot more things to it. But it's looking decent in terms of the rear piece of it. The front piece, not so much. It's very, I'm not gonna say it, but you know what I'm talking about. So we gotta fix that up to make it look a little bit better. So yeah, phase 1 complete for our refining ship. Stay tuned for phase 2. Alright, so it's good to be back on Never Surrender Ship Evolution. I always have a lot of fun building these new ships and evolving it as we go. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video, this series, and if you did, of course you know what to do. That's of course hit that thumbs up, like the video, hit that subscribe button and notification bell, drop a comment or two down below, and of course I'll see you guys next time. Bye.